Hello, and thank you for joining me here at Take 5 with Fanae 5. Hey, that's me. The headlines, there's just so much going on, and in my humble opinion, our democracy is basically run amok. We're judging communities, even though Christian values, the Bible says in Matthew 1:7, judge ye not, lest ye be judged. John 13:34 tells us to love one another as God has loved us. But no, that doesn't matter, right? Okay. I want to do a summary of some of the headlines of how absolute power corrupts absolutely. Let's start with the Supreme Court.
Impropriety. All 9 justices released a joint statement reaffirming their voluntary adherence to a general code of conduct, but rebutting proposals for independent oversight and mandatory compliance with ethics rules.
Shouldn't the Supreme Court have a code of ethics that applies to every other judge and members of Congress?
62% of Americans, nearly 2/3, they have very little or no confidence in the Supreme Court.
Governor Ron DeSantis is very busy, from his war on Disney to traveling around the country with book signings and traveling abroad, but these are not campaign trips, right? So why the legislation to block his travel records? Now, he says it's about security, but don't the people in Florida who pay taxes have a right to know who's paying for all these trips, even if they don't get his itinerary? Take a listen for yourself.
Came up with, I think the issue is with the security situation, how you do patterns of movements if you're somebody that is targeted, which unfortunately I am.
There doesn't have to be a conflict between the need to protect our public officials and the need to guarantee the public's right to know.
Oh, okay. He also is getting legislation through that he can run for president without resigning as governor. Okay. His plan B, I guess. Okay. The governor of Georgia has been very busy too. He's created a commission with oversight responsibility or power to make sure DAs are doing their job. And he talked about repeated offenders being released and DAs not being harsh enough. Take a listen.
Governor Kemp says the DA Oversight Commission will be similar to the Judicial Qualifications Commission, which investigates ethical misconduct by Georgia judges.
People are just finally fed up with local prosecutors that simply are not doing their job.
The commission will consist of 8 members. 5 will be responsible for investigating any alleged conduct constituting grounds for discipline. The other 3 will be for an adjudicating arm that issues out the punishment. Critics say this timing is really suspicious, especially with Fulton County District Attorney Fanae Willis seriously weighing charges in connection with former President Donald Trump's actions in Georgia after the 2020 election.
Very interesting. But few will probably remember that during his run for his second term, he was told that he would have to testify in any Trump inquiry after the election.
We have people who have already voted the DAs into office. And one thing that we have to remember about the power that is being exerted by the Republicans in Georgia is that they're doing this, as you said, in preparation for the charges that are coming down on Donald Trump. This is something that DEA has been preparing for years. And she's not just preparing for these phone calls. She's preparing for the fake electors. She has been doing this for years. She has trumped up her security. She has death threats. She is all over white supremacist websites. This is someone who is going for the gusto. They know she is coming, and they're using the power, and actually legal power so far, because we know that DA in Georgia is not going anywhere, and that is what they most fear down there in Georgia.